This is Control for Windows PC, released by Remedy in 2019. It's had 2 expansions since it was released, and it's available on a variety of platforms. I had the PlayStation 4 disc, but when I had the opportunity to buy it with all the expansions for a good price on Steam, I jumped in. It's actually one of those games where I'm kind of mad at myself for not playing it sooner. For the story, you play the character of Jesse, and the game starts with you walking into a building, and basically, you're trapped inside. You came to this building because you're searching for your kidnapped brother from, I guess, many years before, and there's a voice in your head that told you to go to this building. The voice in your head is someone named Polaris, or something named Polaris, and that voice basically guides you from time to time. The building you entered has a name. It's called the Oldest House, and it's the offices of the FBC. This is the Federal Bureau of Control. It's a secret government organization designed to research and control unexplainable phenomena. So we're kind of in the X-Files SCP realm, I suppose. You enter the building, and as it turns out, you entered the building just after some sort of a terrible event has occurred. You go to meet the director, and you find out that he's dead. Through this initial scene, you're basically taking up the mantle of the director, and you're working to stop the current phenomenon and figure out what happened to your brother. As a director, you have a cool gun, and you basically have telekinetic mental powers, and you're using these to wreak havoc on possessed enemies throughout the game. At first, I thought that the start of this plot was just too easy. The game starts, and you're suddenly told you've been searching for your lost brother for years, and this voice in your head tells you to go here. That's how the story starts. That seemed weird to me. You don't experience or see this motivation, it's just told backstory. And it felt too easy for me. It was like you summarize the first movie in a series 2 seconds before you start watching part 2. It felt weird at first, but after the action started, I kind of didn't care that this was how the game started, because I also really liked the when part of the story. So no matter what got you here, you walked through this door to this building at a specific time just after this seriously traumatic event. At first, the place is almost totally vacant, and then you get a little deeper. Most of the staff that's remaining is possessed, and there are very limited survivors for you to work with. I just found that timing, you showing up after the event. I found that very interesting, and I really like it. As you'd hope, the graphics look great. This is PS4 era graphic quality, and things are sharp and they're interesting. We're also dealing with the world of anomalies, so some of the structures you see are going to be geometrically off, some areas are going to be otherworldly. We're talking solid science fiction in the realm of a liminal experience. It works. Gameplay is third person over the shoulder, and it works well. You get a fairly wide angle of view, and you get to see all the carnage you enable as you progress. So your fights are going to be really messy, and it's a lot of fun to look at. Now, the event that happened is something called the Hiss, and you're working to stop it. It's some sort of an other-dimensional presence that you happen to have the power to repel. And you're going to do this by finding objects of power, and you purge these sort of teleportation points that you find. Basically, that's what you're doing, and it sort of expands the map as you do that. You're basically exploring a big and super crazy, fun map. You're in this building, and it's huge, but it's certainly not built or arranged like any building I've ever seen. This isn't a square or a rectangle, and this layout pretty much makes little to no sense, and that's the point. We have a complex maze, and it can be really easy to get a little lost. And this is including the fact that you have a readily accessible map at your fingertips. It's still not always easy to get around. We also get teleported to different dimensions from time to time, and those are always fun to experience. But as you're doing that, you have the abilities to take care of yourself. You have a gun with unlimited ammunition, but it does need to recharge. We also have telekinesis, and you can grab items and throw them, which is so awesome. Fighting is going back and forth between shooting your gun and throwing objects at people. The carnage is great, and when you don't have like a couch or a trash bin to throw at somebody, you automatically rip up chunks of the floor or walls to throw. I think this is a really well-designed mechanic, and you don't really run out of throwing ammunition for the most part as a result of this. And it just handles really well, and I love it. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. I could do it all day. There are also plenty of upgrades along the way. You basically gather points to spend on these upgrades, and you can use mods to increase your personal bonuses or your weapons, It gives you more health, better damage, better skill efficiency, I suppose. Stuff like that. When I beat the game, I still had things to upgrade, so the upgrade trees are plenty large. Control is interesting, fun to play, and it looks great. It's also awesome to see a strong female protagonist in a story. We also have some really great voice acting, and I think the sound in general is pretty solid overall too. It's sort of this ominous ambiance the whole way through, but there's a spot near the end where it sort of shifts gears. You're experiencing an area called the Ashtray Maze. You can go see videos of it online. There are a ton of them. There's some serious music that kicks in, and it sort of changes the vibe all of a sudden. They turn up the action. I thought it was an exceptional level, and it kicks a great game up from a 10 to an 11. This game really worked for me, and I'm glad I played it. It runs well on my laptop, it's awesome on the desktop, and it actually is really good in the Steam Deck after I add a DirectX clause to the startup process. Before that, I'd play it, but every hour or so, I would drop to 1 frame a second and it would freeze. But once I put in the adjustment, it works just fine, and it's great to be able to play this easily on a handheld. Well, that is all I have today for Control for Windows PC. This was a great game. Thank you for stopping by for a look, and hope to catch you on another video.